Rolls-Royce begins its journey in the exterior surface center, where the signature Rolls-Royce paint finish is created. Clients can choose from a palette of 44,000 exterior colors, and if they prefer a hue that does not exist within that range, the Rolls-Royce Bespoke Collective can develop a new bespoke color that will then be reserved for the client's exclusive use. Rolls-Royce specialists have previously color-matched clients' favorite flowers, a beloved pet's eyes, precious jewels and antique items, to name only a few sources of inspiration. The Bespoke Collective has also developed unique iridescent finishes inspired by the aurora borealis, the farthest reaches of space, specific oceans, and colors that capture the flora and fauna of destinations around the world, which have a personal meaning to the commissioning client. Specially developed bespoke colors often influence how clients curate their other precious possessions. For example, some clients have requested that their yachts and private jets are color-matched to their Rolls-Royce. Depending on the complexity of the paint, the finish may require up to 20 individual layers of lacquer. To achieve the signature piano finish, a Rolls-Royce is hand-polished to brilliance over 4 hours. The selected paint color can also be complemented with a crystal lacquer with iridescent shimmer, adding depth and luster to the color. Clients are able to commission not only leather, but fabric interiors as well, recalling the early years of Rolls-Royce, where passenger seats were upholstered with various precious textiles. Many of the processes used today blend cutting-edge precision machinery with the skilled hands and experienced eyes of Rolls-Royce craftspeople. Leather. Each hide that arrives at Rolls-Royce is examined by hand and eye under high-intensity lighting to reveal imperfections. Areas deemed unsuitable for use are marked with chalk. The marked hide is placed under a cutting machine where an outline of each part required to construct the interior is laser projected onto the material and then cut. A special algorithm was developed to analyze the chalked areas and generate a pattern excluding the marked areas. Artisans manually adjust and further perfect the cutting pattern to maximize the use of leather, excluding the marked areas. Each leather part is thinned or skived to reduce its thickness from around 1.5 mm to 0.6 mm, enabling a smaller, neater seam. Leather parts are sewn by skilled craftspeople by hand using high-precision sewing machines, and are completed with contrast stitching or piping, depending on the client's request. Finally, the leather parts are fitted to a component, a task which can only be done by hand, due to the curves and contours of these parts. Perforated leather. Clients can request that leather seats include placed perforation, artworks created through tiny perforations in the leather which vary in size to create the perception of depth, allowing detailed and seemingly three-dimensional graphics to be achieved. This innovative, contemporary craft technique was first developed for a bespoke commission before being made more widely available with Cullinan Series 2 and Ghost Series 2 in 2024, when designers developed a pattern inspired by the shapes and shadows of the clouds over the Home of Rolls-Royce at Goodwood. It comprises up to 107,000 0.8 and 1.2 mm perforations. Clients can also commission a bespoke placed perforation motif, which is then reserved for their exclusive use. Exploration of textiles. In its Goodwood era, Rolls-Royce began exploring the use of textiles in 2015 during the development of Phantom Serenity, which used embroidered silk for the interior. Since then, a number of materials have been used, including rayon fabric made from bamboo, silk blends and even glass organza. For Cullinan Series 2 and Ghost Series 2, a fabric interior is now available as a pret-a-porter offer. For these motor cars, Rolls-Royce specialists developed a rayon fabric made from bamboo named Duality Twill. It is embroidered with an artistic duality graphic, based on an abstract interpretation of the two interlinked or initials of the marque's founders. The Duality Twill interior can incorporate up to 2.2 million stitches requiring 11 miles of thread, and is the product of 20 hours of construction. To ensure uniformity in the pattern, each piece is individually crafted before being cut using a specially developed laser that seals the material's edge and mitigates individual threads becoming loose. Once all panels are carefully positioned and stitched together to create a seamless whole, they are used to upholster the seating. The base twill textile is available in 3 colors, lilac, chocolate and black, and the thread is available in 51 different hues, allowing clients to tailor their design according to their personal preference, creating a bold contrasting effect or a subtle monochrome. Bespoke embroidery and hand painting. Clients are offered near limitless opportunities to create complex works of art using their interior as a canvas. From their initials applied to the headrests to million-stitch embroideries, embroidery depicting the surface of the moon, bespoke embossed graphics, hand-painted artworks using leather as a canvas and even three-dimensional embroidery, the possibilities are limited only by the client's imagination. Interior Surface Center. For many years, the Interior Surface Center was known simply as the Wood Shop. Its current designation reflects the major changes that this department has undergone in recent years. Wood remains its primary medium, but the specialist craftspeople are also skilled in working with carbon fiber, metal, and a diverse range of lacquered, painted and embellished hard surface finishes. Veneers. The visible wood elements in a Rolls-Royce motor car are made using veneers, thin sheets of wood that are bonded to a substructure. All veneer parts used in any single motor car come from the same tree, with colors, patterns and grains that give the motor car its own unique fingerprint that cannot be precisely replicated again. This also ensures all wood parts age consistently, an important consideration, as many Rolls-Royce motor cars are lovingly handed down through the generations. Clients can select from around 30 different wood types, with different stains, overlays, and treatments offering a wide range of additional effects. Clients can also ask Rolls-Royce to source a different tree species, which may have a particular personal resonance to them, so long as the species is not restricted or endangered. On arrival at the Home of Rolls-Royce, all veneers are transferred to the richly scented humidor, where they are stored for a minimum of 3 days at a constant 23 degrees Celsius and 75% humidity. Humidity is essential to prevent the wood from cracking and to keep it flexible enough to take the complex forms for which Rolls-Royce wood components are renowned. Almost every veneer part begins life in the veneer preparation area, where specialists align the grains and patterns to create a single, perfect line running through the motor car. Straight-grained woods like royal walnut, Juglans nigra, are matched in a chevron pattern at a precise 55 degrees angle. Complex patterned woods such as burr walnut, Juglans regia, are laid so they form a book-matched mirror image, with the edges trimmed and sanded by hand for a precise fit. The matched veneer pieces are then bonded and pressed into larger sheets, from which all the parts for the motor car are precision cut using a laser. Each veneered part is made up of several layers, interleaved with bonded sheets and joined under heat and pressure to create a multi-layered surface with the strength and integrity to allow further work. The veneer is bonded in a heavy press to a carrier part, made of cast aluminium or composite material. All veneers are tested at high and low temperatures to ensure they will remain stable once installed in the finished motor car, regardless of the operating conditions. The part then reaches veneer finessing, where skilled craftspeople eliminate any blemishes in the veneer. They do this by cutting tiny, precisely color-matched slivers of the same veneer used in the part itself with a scalpel, then bond them in place of the blemish and seal them with a hot plate. After veneer finessing, all parts are manually sanded using an orbital sander. Knowing how much of the wood surface to remove is a matter of experience and requires a good eye and a steady hand. Delicate features like apertures for instruments are hand-sanded with sandpaper. Before progressing to the lacquering stage, each piece receives its final inspection. A highly experienced craftsperson applies a washover that temporarily imitates the final lacquered finish, enabling them to find any remaining imperfections on the surface. Everything is examined by eye, there is no technology involved. If any defects emerge, the part will be sent back to veneer finessing for further work. In the final process, multiple layers of lacquer, each only 0.3 mm thick, are applied to the veneered parts. Each layer is allowed to dry for around 20 minutes, although this will vary depending on temperature, atmospheric pressure, and other factors. With all the layers applied, the part will show a slight orange peel effect on the surface. To eliminate this, the part is sanded back and then polished to a deep, mirror shine. Open pore finishes, where the grain and texture are exposed to create a tactile sensation, are finished with a specially developed matte sealant. To expand the possibilities for individualization even further, the interior trim center team is constantly working on the development of design veneers, which are handcrafted using natural wood, often combined with other materials. These innovative veneers can incorporate and create unique designs, such as wave patterns achieved by using specialized pressing techniques, or by including metals, like copper. The current design veneer palette includes obsidian ius, linea silver birch and dark amber, with several more in development. Clients can commission unique artworks on the bonnet or a coach line, hand-applied by a skilled team of artisans. A coach line is applied by hand using a fine brush made from natural materials. The coach line is precisely 3 mm wide on Phantom, Cullinan and Ghost, and 4 mm wide on Spectre due to its particular proportions. The exterior can be complemented with a unique coach line motif, a small artwork such as a flower, a family crest or a geometric pattern.